Independent Electoral Commission's campaign to woo South African youths to vote says love your South Africa. But in a 17-year-old democracy with an over 30% unemployment rate made up mostly of youth, is there really much for young people in this country to love? Young people and the youth leaders from the ANC, the DA, the IFP and the Minority Front came together to debate this in Durban. The IEC's Godfrey Naidu says political parties have evolved to the extent that they are campaigning and talking to the country's youth.
We start registering at age 16, and at that age you are inculcating to them certain values and norms that when they turn a voting age, which is 18, that by then they have an understanding, a bigger understanding of not just voting but democracy. Now, since the 2004 elections, we've intensified targeting the youth participation. We engage with institutions and we engage with schools.
An issue that sparked the ire of the audience and raised fierce debate among the youth leaders was that of unemployment among young people and how affirmative action contributes in addressing some of the imbalances of the past. The ANC Youth League's Magdalene Munsami says affirmative action is a necessity even 17 years later.
The unemployment crisis in the country is far more than 30%. It's actually beyond 36%. In all parts of the world, there continues to be unemployment. We have to go through a process of addressing inequalities.
But the DA's Mbali Ntuli says job creation is not directly government's responsibility.
Most important thing that youth need right now is opportunities. We believe in enterprise-driven economies, which means that we don't believe that creating jobs is the job of the government. We do believe that creating the right atmosphere for business is the job of the government, and that will create jobs for the young people.
Political analyst Lubna Nadvi answered the question, how long was long enough for affirmative action, and the effect that this could have on the youth of the future.
I think that what we need to do is to actually look at what is best for the South African youth. We brought in affirmative action for a period of time to address the historical imbalances, but are we going to have it there forever? I mean, that is the question that I think...
Is it time for a sunset clause on affirmative action?
10 years from now, where are young people going to be if affirmative action stays in place?
These people got me questioning, where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love?
Final year DUT student Maziam Gobezi posed a question to the panel about the shortage of financial aid for students. Several tertiary institutions in KwaZulu-Natal have this year been affected by student protest in this regard. The DA responded by referring to a memorandum it plans to hand over to Minister of Higher Education and Training, Blade Nzimande, next month. The memorandum will suggest a loan system whereby students can work for government after their studies to repay their loans. The IFP's Dr. Usha Rupnarayan says the ruling national government has had enough time to deal with the situation.
The ANC is in government, and twice over they have had two-thirds majority, so they could have changed the system when they wanted it to make it more inclusive, more open and more equal.
In conclusion, Newsbreak host Darshan Mudli gave each party representative 30 seconds to wrap up. The Minority Front's Bradley Singh kicked off.
Ladies and gentlemen, no matter what other political parties said, it is all hot air and lip service. The DA is only around election time, and after election they put on vanishing cream that lasts 5 years.
In Cartel Freedom Party's Dr. Usha Rupnarayan.
Voters don't want buzzwords anymore. They don't want promises. They want action. They don't want talk.
From the Democratic Alliance, Mbali Tuli.
The young people of South Africa really have a responsibility to themselves and for the future that they want, where they can access opportunities and really live in a truly democratic South Africa.
And our final speaker from the Youth League of the African National Congress, Magdalene Munsami.
Thank you once again for voting for the African National Congress on the 18th of May 2011 in the local government elections.
This pre-election youth debate raised several burning issues that youth are grappling with, but there are no easy answers. The tense relationship between job creation and affirmative action raised the blood pressure of many present. It was also interesting to note that many of the youth leaders on the panel and those in the audience were above the age of 29. So just how in touch are these leaders with the concerns facing South Africa's youth? It is clear that young people need to have an active say in who governs them, and this starts with the right to vote come May 18th. Vinoshni Pillai, SABC Radio News, Durban.